Cherry, a determined yet naive teenager from Gary, Indiana, gets caught up in a dangerous world of scams after falling for Andre, a smooth-talking boy with ties to his ruthless older brother, Marcus. Seduced by the promise of fast money, she hands over her information, unknowingly sealing her fate. When the police issue a warrant for her arrest, Cherry is forced to go on the run, betrayed by the very people she trusted. As she fights to take control of her life, she faces a final choice: turn herself in and fight for redemption, or disappear and escape her past. With betrayal, survival, and one last gamble, Cherry must decide if she controls her future, or if the streets will decide for her. A few weeks passed, and Cherry and Andre became inseparable. He made her laugh, made her feel special, but there was something else, something he wasn't telling her. One night, they were sitting in his brother Marcus's apartment. The place had an eerie, low-lit glow from a single flickering lamp. Stacks of papers, a laptop, and IDs cluttered the table. Cherry had no idea what Marcus did for a living, but she never asked questions. Andre leaned in. "You trying to make some real money?" Cherry hesitated. "How?" "All you need's a social and an ID. I'll do the rest." Her gut told her to say no, but something about the way Andre looked at her, like she was part of something bigger, made her pause. She handed him the paper. "This gonna get me in trouble?" she asked, her voice quieter than usual. "Nah," Andre said, a smooth lie rolling off his tongue. "You good." Weeks later, Cherry's world crumbled. A warrant was out for her arrest. The police came to her house. The detective's voice was sharp. "We know what you did. Turn yourself in, or it's only going to get worse." Her mother's eyes were filled with pain. "Cherry, what did you do?" She didn't answer. She couldn't. Andre wasn't picking up his phone. She found out from a friend he and Marcus were gone. They had used her, and now she was the one left holding the weight of their crimes. Cherry ran. She had no money, nowhere to go. She crashed at a friend's place for a night, but that wasn't a real solution. She slept on the bus, kept her hood up, avoided eye contact. Her phone was useless now. There was no one left to call. Then she remembered Kara, Marcus's ex, the one person who might tell her the truth. Kara opened the door, took one look at Cherry and sighed. "You really let them play you, huh?" Cherry felt her stomach turn. "Where are they?" Kara leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "Why? You want to beg Andre for answers?" Cherry shook her head. "I want to find him." Kara studied her for a moment, then nodded. "He's in Chicago." Cherry found Andre in a rundown apartment in Chicago. He looked different, smaller, like the weight of what he'd done was finally catching up to him. She stepped inside. "Why'd you do it?" Andre didn't answer first. When he did, his voice was hollow. "I didn't think they'd come after you like that." Cherry clenched her fist. "You didn't think? You let me take the fall." Andre looked away. "I was scared." For the first time, Cherry saw him for what he really was. Not just a boy with potential, but a boy who had already lost himself to the streets. Now she had a choice. She looked at Andre and said, "If you don't do it, I will. You owe this much to me." Andre looked up at her and sighed. "You're right, and I'm glad you found me. But what about Marcus? If I go down, he goes down, and he's ruthless." Cherry narrowed her eyes. "Then let's get him together. You're scared, and if you're scared, that means you're only helping him because of fear. And fear led you to do this to me. You owe me. You owe yourself." Andre hesitated, then reached into his pocket and pulled out a wad of cash, the money they had made off her. He handed it to her, his hands trembling. "I'm sorry. I hope you can find a place in your heart to forgive me. Write me. Please keep in touch." Then, without another word, he walked up to the police officers outside and raised his hands. "I believe you're looking for me." Cherry stood at the edge of a quiet Chicago street at dawn. The sky was a mix of dark blue and warm orange, as if the world itself was waiting for her choice. The police car was parked on one side. A bus heading out of town was on the other. She could turn herself in, fight for her future, or she could just disappear, start fresh, and leave it all behind. Her hands tightened in her hoodie and pockets. It was time to decide.